animals stand, can you even hear their sounds? This is not just a pretty song. This is what is really going on. So keep your water holy, holy, holy. Smokes the forests, blowing, blowing, blowing. Chokes the fish out, floating, floating, floating. We need the land and the sea. Go let them hold you. We need the birds and the bees for their love stories. Not just once upon a time. We're on the brink. Behold, we're on the brink. This is the warning. Thank you. I'm Elise Boulanger.
Hello, everyone. Please give a big thank you to Elise Boulanger for starting off our event today. Before we get started, I would like to give a few notes about accessibility. The speeches have a written version on our website at gcsnanaimo.rf.gd/speeches if you would like to follow along. We are trying to make this event as safe as possible during the COVID-19 pandemic, so please wear your mask for the entirety of this event, even if you are fully vaccinated. Please social distance to the best of your ability, and we have hand sanitizer available if you need some. There are washrooms available in the library until 4:45, and then after 4:45 there are the public washrooms. If the rally begins to feel a bit overwhelming, the library is available. It is calmer and quieter, and it will be open until 5 today. Please ensure that you are not blocking the library entrance so that people can get inside. Speeches before the march will take about 20 minutes. If you are uncomfortable with standing that long, please sit in one of the chairs in the front row. There are VIP seating. We invite you to join us with those. If at any time you need help, go to anyone in a high visibility vest and they will do their best to assist you. Those in high visibility vests, could you please wave your hands? Thank you. Okay, are we ready? Welcome to the 2021 Nanaimo Global Climate Strike. My name is Jocelyn and I am your MC for today. Thank you so much for joining us for this event and standing up for such an important cause. First, I'd like to acknowledge that we are on the unceded territory of the Nanaimo First Nations. The ongoing acts of colonization are inseparable from the climate crisis. It treats both the land and its indigenous people as dispensable. In Nanaimo, the Treaty of 1854 was negotiated between the settlers and the Nanaimo to extract coal from the land. But that treaty was ignored, and the Nanaimo were alienated, and of course, the burning of coal contributed to the climate crisis that we are now facing today. Our city was built on colonialism. The idea that the earth or any of its people are dispensable is false, and settlers like myself need to start acting accordingly. This is one of the many reasons we are here today. The theme of today's event is Uproot the System. It is recognition that the climate crisis will fall and has already begun to fall along the same lines as other systems in society. The global majority is left behind to deal with the worst effects on their well-being, while those with more privilege prosper. Climate justice truly cannot happen without social justice on a broader scale. Today we hope to make a small difference in two ways. One, by coming together to fundraise for an organization that is working on social justice in our community, the RiseBridge Project. We'll hear more about them soon, but I would like to encourage you to donate to them after the speeches are done. And two, to amplify our voices and demand for more climate and social justice. Uproot the System is a complex topic, and we hope to have a wide variety of perspectives with our speakers today. The first speaker today is Sarah Lovegrove, who is speaking on behalf of RiseBridge. Please welcome Sarah to the stage.
Can you hear me okay? Good? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sarah Lovegrove. I'm a former emergency department nurse and the director of health promotion with the RiseBridge Project. I am grateful to be gathering with you here today on the beautiful unceded and ancestral territory of the Nanaimo First Nation. I'm here today taking up space as a white settler in acknowledgement that I'm an uninvited guest living, working, and healing on these traditional lands. Oh my goodness. Sorry. I'm just gonna hold it. I owe my endless gratitude to the knowledge keepers, stewards, and protectors of this territory since time immemorial. RiseBridge Project is a new local nonprofit organization run by action-oriented peers and professionals mandated to provide a safe and culturally anchored low-barrier space in downtown Nanaimo. Open 7 days a week to advance mental health, resilience, and well-being of our community while amplifying social justice movements and elevating harm reduction initiatives. The RiseBridge Project is committed to working toward reconciliation and the ongoing process of decolonization as we continue to work in the community. We are a strong, united voice committed to taking action toward equity and allyship, empowering communities through connection and community events while focusing on addressing the root causes of social injustice at our local level. We strive to minimize the gaps in our social service offerings by offering peer mentorship, system navigation, and culturally informed responsive services to prevent individual crises in our trauma-affected community members. Our weekly programs include drop-in spaces, workshops, and empowerment opportunities prioritizing BIPOC and LGBTQIA2S+ folks in our community. Our services consist of resource connection, mental health check-ins, harm reduction education, 16 step recovery programs, literacy support, cultural connection workshops, and more. Our doors only being open since August 1st of this summer, we are so proud of all we have accomplished already in the community, from hosting multiple community events, including Art in the Park after the anti-racism rally and International Overdose Awareness Day, to holding space in community for those underserved and seeking to address immediate community needs each and every day. This project is evolving at an incredible rate as a direct result of the dire need for this work in our community. The small core group of this team have spent countless hours building an incredible organization over the past months out of passion, and our efforts are entirely volunteer. Our humble office doors stay open at this time thanks to t-shirt sales, our GoFundMe page, and community donations. So as we await our financial support from grants and for our charitable status to move beyond pending status, we appreciate any and all donations that this community can provide. In addition to our immediate need for financial support, we're also a growing organization with many needs, from contracting to printing promotional materials to spreading the word of our work among many businesses and community who may be looking to tangibly support BIPOC and LGBTQ+ groups locally. RiseBridge is a house of advocacy, activism, and intersectional social justice. Intersectionality recognizes the interconnectedness of us all and all that we go through to survive in this world. The ways in which racism, classism, ableism, sexism, and other forms of marginalization intersect to create cultures of oppression. The systems that uphold our current ways of life that act to marginalize people and the environment do not exist in a vacuum. And these systems of power are codependent upon one another for dominance and power over the people. Intersectional social justice demands that we look at all systems of oppression in relation to one another and how these systemic traumas manifest within individuals in our communities. This notion of interconnectedness comes directly from Indigenous teachings of all my relations. We are all related, meaning that we cannot disconnect from these human rights atrocities we see in our communities on these streets, the people suffering from the violence we see against the environment, and the climate crisis we have collectively found ourselves in today. As Black intersectional feminists, environmentalists, Leah Thomas states, we cannot save the planet without uplifting the voices of its people, especially the most unheard. We live on stolen Indigenous land, and we exist in this current climate crisis because those in power within the system of white supremacist capitalist patriarchy have never listened to Indigenous wisdom and have been attempting to systemically wipe out these systems of knowledge through the process of ongoing colonial genocide. Intersectional environmentalism identifies the ways in which injustices targeting frontline communities and the earth are intertwined. In our own backyard, this call for intersectional environmentalism can be seen clearly at the Fairy Creek blockades, with a narrative around saving the old growth holding more emphasis than the prioritization of Indigenous sovereignty over Indigenous land. The power of this narrative is consistent in the treatment of Indigenous land defenders by the RCMP, media, and the logging industry, as well as how those Indigenous activists and land defenders are supported within the broader community of white privileged environmental justice movement. Conversations within environmental spaces cannot minimize or ignore the injustices targeting vulnerable communities and natural ecosystems, but rather denote the ways social inequalities like racism and classism influence our perception of environmentalism, regardless of how subtle or obvious. In this way, intersectional environmentalism calls for justice for both the people and the planet. Thank you for all your time and attention today. Thank you for your support of RiseBridge Project, and thank you for being here on behalf of this beautiful land.
Thank you, Sarah. Just a reminder that if you are able to, please make a donation to RiseBridge Project to help them continue to do such awesome things in our community. You can donate to them by going to their GoFundMe page, which is linked on their website, risebridgeproject.ca. Next up, we have Fred Speck. Fred, are you here? Please welcome Fred to the stage.
All right. Thank you, Jocelyn. And it's nice to meet you. Yeah. Hagelkas la hamos lo lokote. Nuguam Iwanuchi. Jaikan la flowers is to Guawenu. A hastalis la Kizwin Naglis Sunemo. Hagelkas la Planinatinu. Hagelkas la Shilakwe. Greetings, everyone, my brothers and sisters. Nuguam, I am Iwanuchi, one of my traditional names. I come from the Tlawajis and the Guawenu tribes of the Kwakwaka'wakw region. I've lived here and I've been a guest and a visitor on the Nanaimo traditional, unceded and unsurrendered traditional territory of the Nanaimo. I've had the privilege and honor to be here and to be taken care of and to be respected by the Nanaimo people. The theme here today that I love, Jocelyn, is Uproot the System. The first thing that comes to my mind is when we think about the BC NDP government is what they're doing to our natural resources at this very moment, and the force that they use with the RCMP and the green guys. I've never been impressed with the BC NDP government when it's come to their governance and enforcement of law through the RCMP, because right now we have the Fairy Creeks situation. A couple of years ago was the Wet'suwet'en and the Gitxsan people, their territory, their hereditary chiefs, their rights and their land rights. And you go even further, 1995, it was the BC NDP government again when they went against Chippewa, Gustafson Lake, also known as Gustafson Lake. Back then, they used the force of the RCMP. They used 77,000 rounds of ammunition against the indigenous people of Chippewa. They used an explosive to attempt to blast a pickup truck. And that's part of it. That's a little bit of a background and history of the BC NDP government that's happening right now. But what I want, my message to you today is that when we come from, for example, VIU Eco Club. Thank you for hosting this event. Gail Kessler. And when we think about, we're aware of and have knowledge of the activity that's happening on the ground, the forces used by the RCMP, which is incumbent upon the BC NDP. And to think that these things are happening, my message to you is that this event, this important cause is coming from the VIU Eco Club. We should build on the foundations of eco-love. This is where we all come together. This is where we all come together like we are today, where we come to unite as one. To fight for the future of our children. To fight for the future of our environment, so that our children, their children, and their grandchildren could have the same health quality that we've had over our lives. This is what we're looking for. How could we not practice and exercise eco-love when it comes to our children and their grandchildren? And this is a question we need to ask ourselves. I'm so grateful to see you all. I'm particularly amazed by seeing all of the young children here. Thank you. And thank you all for bringing your signs, bringing your heart, your passion, your concern, and your strength to this important cause and event today. This is what I'm referring to when I'm talking about eco-love. eco-love. What's in our heart is what we would ask in our cultures. The Indigenous culture is always the question, what do we have in our heart? I come from the Kwakwaka'wakw region up in northeastern Vancouver Island and adjacent mainland. We have a word in our Kwakwala language called noke. And noke is the same as the connection between the heart and mind. There's no difference between the two. It's the same. And every step in our lives, our noke is attached to the land. Our noke is attached to our communities. Our noke is attached to our families. Our noke is attached to our children. And so forth. Nugwa'am, I am. This is who I am. Olaga ikanoko es wigilas. I am grateful from my heart that this is happening. So this is my message to you. The other request that I have as an Indigenous person standing before you, I was invited here to speak, and in doing so, I invite all of you as Indigenous people and as allies to join the Indigenous people to fight for our climate, to fight for our environment, and to fight for the health and quality of our environment. Whatever it takes, and I cannot express enough to you about the eco-love, and I hope that you all keep that in your mind when it comes to the health of our environment, the health of our communities, the health of our families, the health of our children as we move forward. G'day, Kestafla.
Thank you, Fred. Our last speaker before we go on the march today will be Julia Roberts from the Nanaimo Greenface Circle. Please welcome Julia to the stage.
Thank you, Jocelyn, for the opportunity. How about that? Thank you, Jocelyn, for the invitation to speak. The Nanaimo Greenface Circle started last February. So far, our group includes people from various religions: Baha'i, Buddhist, Christian, Hindu, and New Thought. You may wonder why faith communities are concerned about the climate crisis. We feel that the climate crisis is a spiritual and moral crisis, as well as an economic, political, and practical crisis. We are offering the wisdom of our various faith traditions to help heal this crisis. Fred's speech illustrates how strongly First Nations culture and spirituality are connected to the land. Many of us here come from other lands, or perhaps our ancestors came from other lands. We brought with us religions that have diverse festivals, spiritual practices, and ways of imaging the divine mystery that underpins life. In spite of our differences, our faiths all direct us to care for the poor, welcome the stranger, seek justice, love our neighbors, and care for our earth. In various ways, all our faiths say that earth is sacred. Nanaimo Greenface Circle aims to bring a spiritual dimension to climate action. We need to pray for help and inspiration because we are in great danger as a species. We need to pray for courage and perseverance to make the changes needed in our economies and societies. We need to meditate to calm our hearts and minds and open ourselves to new possibilities. We need to sing together to lift our spirits and generate hope. We need to spend time in nature to see and hear the many creatures with whom we share this sacred earth. Back in March, our circle held a Sacred People, Sacred Earth event at Matthew Sutton Park. We were amazed to receive donations of 80 native trees, which we gave to the city. In May, we planted those trees and about 20 more along the ENN rail trail. Last Saturday, we held a ceremony called Making Peace with Our Earth at the Labyrinth at Bethlehem Center up at Westwood Lake. With drumming, inspirational readings and songs, about 40 people acknowledged our connections to Earth and all its beings, lamented the harm we have done to Earth and its climate, and committed to love and learn from Earth. Our circle will be holding more events in future as COVID and weather permit. If you have questions, would like to join our group, or add your faith community to our circle, please drop by our table, which is just over there. I would like to close by offering an interfaith prayer. We hold our earth. We hold brothers and sisters who suffer from storms and droughts intensified by climate change. We hold all species that suffer. We hold world leaders delegated to make decisions for life. We pray that the web of life may be mended through courageous actions to limit carbon emissions. We pray for right actions for adaptation and mitigation to help our already suffering Earth community. We pray that love and wisdom might inspire our individual actions and our community actions, so that we may, with integrity, look into the eyes of brothers and sisters and all beings and truthfully say, we are doing our part to care for them and the future of the children. May love transform us and our world with new steps toward life. Amen.
Thank you, Julia. It is now time for us to go on a march. After the march, we will be coming back here for more speeches. The march will be on the sidewalk, going down Commercial Street, left onto Terminal Avenue, into the Port Place Mall parking lot, through the parking lot, left onto Front Street, and then left onto Wharf Street, which will lead us back here. When we get back, there will be a couple more speeches and then some activities. There's a slight hill down the Port Place Mall parking lot, and that hill will then gradually go up again on Front Street. If you do not want to go on the march, I invite you to stay here and hang out with me as everyone goes, and then they'll come back and we will regroup. For people going on the march, please keep your mask on and continue to social distance as much as possible. Please stay on the sidewalks and follow the instructions of the marshals. If you go on the march, it is at your own risk, so please be safe. Okay, the marshals will now direct you to where the march will begin. Have fun, everyone, and we will see you back here soon.
Building went up.
Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Climate change has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Climate change has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Climate change has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Climate change has got to go! Climate change has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Climate change has got to go! Hey, hey! Climate change has got to go!
One of those guys.
Climate change has got to go! I can't stop waving when I'm next to the street. Woo-hoo! Oh, climate change has got to go! Hey, hey! Oh, climate change has got to go! Oh, climate change has got to go!
Somebody put up on Facebook like the official code of conduct of the RCMP when they go to cadet school. It's really good, you know, it's like honor, truthfulness.
Nice word. Hey, hey, ho, ho.
Getting a few steps in, Brenda.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to walk up and down while we were standing there.
Yes, you were. We saw that.
My leg.
I wasn't sure if you were nervous or. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, guys.
He has urgent things to do on Sunday.
Oh. Yes, the Council Canadian should endorse it.
Okay. Usually he's very good at prescription. I'll be there. So you just waited across. Yeah.
Just safety
Hey, ho ho. Climate change has got to go. Change has got to go. Hey, hey, ho ho. stopped.
Everybody else stopped. Or are you asking why did we stop?
Yeah, why not?
We're doing a cheer at the corner there. Can't hear ya?
Wasn't any cars.
I don't know.
Maybe they're just looking at us.
Yeah. This way, not that way. We can't hear her. She's like yelling out that way. She wants us to repeat her. Well, we can't hear her. She's yelling that way.
Hey, hey, ho, ho! Climate change has got to go! Hey, hey, ho, ho! Climate change has got to go! Hey, hey, ho, ho! Climate change has got to go! Hey, hey, ho, ho! Climate change has got to go! Hey, hey, ho, ho! Climate change has got to go! Hey, hey, ho, ho! Climate change has got to go! Hey, hey, ho, ho! Climate change has got to go!
Hey, ho, ho. Climate change has got to go.
It's gone and went.
go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Climate change has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Climate change has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Climate change has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Climate change has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Climate change has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Climate change has got to go. Climate change has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Climate change has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Climate change has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Climate change has got to go. Hey, hey. No worries. Climate change has got to go. Hey, Jocelyn, what is the order of the procedure? Climate change has got to go. Ho, ho. Climate change has got to go. And then yeah, perfect. So all of our 2 minutes? Yeah.
Okay, did everyone have fun on the march?
Yeah!
Awesome. Okay, we have 3 more speakers today. First up, we'll have Oliver Loach, he's a student at NDSS and will be speaking for a bit today. Can everyone hear me all right? I will be speaking unscripted today because I feel that we don't need a script to address what's happening. The theme of today is Uproot the System. I feel that Uproot the System means that we need change right now. If I ever come across someone who says that climate change is fake and a lie, I will tell them, tell me what you think of the people of Lytton, BC, whose homes were burnt down by wildfire caused by climate change. Why do you think that we are protesting the old growth logging that is happening at Fairy Creek right now? Because of climate change. And why do you think that we are here today?
Climate change!
That's right, because of climate change. Now I'm here and I'm a student at NDSS Secondary School here in Nanaimo. And I am promoting environmental initiatives all across the school. I will be joining the Environmental Club.
Woo! Good for you!
Yeah. What can we do to help combat climate change? We don't need to do those big things. We don't need all these big things. All we need to do, go meatless once a week, bike or walk to school or work, buy an electric car, buy a heat pump instead of using expensive and costly and nasty fossil fuels to heat our homes. No, I am standing here tonight because we need climate action, and we need it now. And thank you, Jocelyn, for inviting me to speak today here. And thank you to all of you for being here to help combat climate change. We need climate action, and we need it now. Thank you. Haitchka. Thank you, Oliver. Also, I would support you as Prime Minister. Okay, next up we have Virat Kamana, who will be speaking about environmental protection from his world travels. Please welcome Virat to the stage.
Good evening, my loving fellow Earth lovers. This is only one Earth, planet Earth we have. There is no another planet Earth we have to live. And it's our duty and responsibility to protect this wonderful planet Earth where we are standing on, where we are living on, where we are enjoying with our friends and families, right? So I'm here to lobby the climate change actions and also to protect the environment, what we have right now, right? I've been an activist to protect the environment since my childhood, when I was 18 years old. Then I decided, you know what, we need to do something. Because the more number of people are growing, the population is growing around the world, especially in underdeveloped countries and developing countries, right? There are so many people over there, you know, cut the trees for various occasions. The culture is like that, you know, like if any marriage takes place in the family, they cut like 5 trees because they use the trees as a firewood, right? And then they don't have the practice of planting it back. So where the tree is going to come? What happened to all those biodiversity and ecology, you know, all those, it's just very bad. So that's why what I decided that I should catch young people, especially the university, the schools, right, should go talk to them about the impact of our irresponsible living and irresponsible policies by the government, no, which is stand up. So instead of always blaming the government, we have to do our roles also, right? Only blaming the government is not good. The change begins from us. The change begins from us. You have to establish the change by yourself. I have to be changed myself so that I can bring change, right? So this is what I decided that I should go approach the young people, because it's very difficult to program the grown-up people, because they have one attitude in those countries. They're not willing to listen. So it's a McDonald's philosophy. I was a manager, like, you know, managing McDonald's. You know what McDonald's management philosophy? Attract the children. Children bring the parents. Simple. You know, it's a simple formula, not a rocket science. Attract the children. Children bring the parents. So we got more business. So that's why bring the